organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, how much does a typical spring break cost? Get the numbers from some students on campus.
And later, see what it means to visit Russia without stepping foot out of your own city.
And in sports, many seasons have come to an end, but did they end the way the teams had hoped?
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Welcome to Daily Iowan TV. I'm Christina Targos.
And I'm Brad Maxwell. Our top story tonight comes after the death of a University of Iowa student over the weekend. According to officials with the Eagan Police Department, 18-year-old Ashim Ahmed Jr. and 42-year-old Kelly Christensen died Saturday after their cars met in a head-on collision on a Minnesota road. Officials say Ashim's car was engulfed in flames after the crash, trapping him inside. Ashim was studying to become a dentist at the UI, and Christensen was a husband and father of two. Local officials are still investigating the cause. Check out Tuesday's Daily Iowan for more information on the accident.
As students resume classes at the UI, many are left with some exciting and interesting memories of spring break. But those memories may come at a high cost. According to BillShrink.com, college students spend an average of over $1,000 on spring break, putting a major dent in their bank account. Much of the costs are attributed to high-priced hotels, food, drinks, and apparel in spring break destinations. In a recent survey on CheapHotels.com, Panama City and South Padre ranked among the most expensive spring break destinations in 2012. Despite the high cost, UI students suggested they have kept their spring break expenses far below the national average.
I only spent like $250 because my hotel was paid for by like one of my friend's dads. So I just spent money on like food and drinks and stuff like that.
Governor Terry Branstad says he's happy with the House-passed education reform measure and wants the Senate to move forward so a final bill can be made. The House-passed bill creates new standards for evaluating teachers and holds back third graders if they aren't reading at the right level. Branstad said school reform is one of the main priorities, but this year Republicans and Democrats are at odds with how to approach changes. Many Democrats have questioned the proposal to hold back third graders and are still working on their own measures.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, a Russian experience right here in Iowa City.
And in sports, we'll recap the end of the Iowa men's basketball season. But first, let's check in with Daily Iowan TV's Mariel Kone for a look at today's weather forecast.
Well, guys, it's probably good news for students that the warm weather we all had over spring break, whether on vacation or just at home, is here to stay, but sunshine isn't so likely. Tomorrow morning we'll see 64 degrees but 50% chance of rain, and the afternoon we'll see 74 with the same chances of showers. The evening will dip slightly to 68 with the same rain. And looking at your extended forecast, the rest of the week looks just as rainy, with highs in the mid-70s through Thursday and 40 to 60% chances of showers. For the weekend, we'll see temps dip slightly down to the high 60s and a little bit of sunshine again. Let's hope the sunshine is a good sign for next week. Back to you.
The University of Iowa has a new platform for distributing news with a website called Iowa Now. The website features everything from general news and announcements to event calendars and videos. The website also has archives dating back to 1997, as well as annual reports from the Office of the President from 2000 on. The website is updated multiple times daily and is always accepting submissions from the public.
While many UI students enjoyed a relaxing break at home this past week, a number of students visited Russia without even leaving the country. Daily Iowan TV's Josh Bolander explains.
While most UI students probably spent their spring break enjoying the blue skies, relaxing in what turned out to be absolutely gorgeous weather, or even did the unthinkable and got some studying in, other University of Iowa students took a trip to Moscow, but not in the way you might think.
That's because they did it here, using internet tools and video conferencing software that allowed them to see their counterparts thousands and thousands of miles away.
The event, Book Wings, took place at the UI Theater building just before students bolted for break. Video conferencing technology allowed audiences to see performances across 10 time zones, from the stages at the UI Theater Building to the bright lights of the Moscow's Arts and Performances stage. The event was also accessible to a worldwide audience, with a live internet feed documenting the entire performance on YouTube. It remains to be seen how the new century will be remembered in textbooks and online publications, both in Iowa City, Iowa, and in Moscow. But if last week's performance is any indication, it could very well be viewed as a technological revolution. Josh Bolander, Daily Iowan TV.
An eastern Iowa man is facing charges after authorities found 25 dead animals on his property outside of Sumner. Michael Daisy is being charged with 25 accounts of failure to dispose of dead animals and livestock neglect. Authorities found an additional 25 animals that were found alive but were suffering malnutrition and neglect.
The Iowa legislators killed hundreds of bills to focus their attention. Daily Iowan TV's Ryan Jones has a breakdown of what still has a chance of becoming a law in this week's Political Minute.
Thanks, Brad. The Iowa legislature had its final deadline on Friday. This means that a majority of bills are dead, but some of them still have a chance of becoming law. The Iowa legislature made the final deadline, so it stopped bills that didn't come out of committee. Some of the most prominent bills can't be re-examined until the next legislative Congress. Online poker in Iowa is dead. Bars won't be able to serve infused alcohol with candy or fruit. The Stand Your Ground bill that would allow deadly force to be used to defend your vehicle and voter ID are also dead. But some bills did make it out of committee before the deadline passed. Bill to offer up to 10% tax cuts on energy-efficient buildings made it out of committee. And Governor Branstad signed Caden's Law on Friday. This makes the penalty for illegally passing a school bus punishable up to 30 days in jail. A ban on red light cameras gained new life when House Speaker Paulson moved the bill to the Appropriations Committee. The Iowa City Council just decided to install those cameras in the town. And besides those three bills, there are still hundreds of bills still alive. This includes one bill that could increase the gas tax by 10%. And with gas prices expected to be $5 in the summer, there's one bill we have to keep our eye on. Back to you at the desk.
A University of Iowa swimmer is facing felony charges after being arrested Sunday night. Asa Dobrovolskate is being charged with second-degree theft after she allegedly stole over $1,000 of clothing from Von Maur in Sycamore Mall. Dobrovolskate was found with 38 stolen items valuing over $1,000, according to a police complaint.
And now let's take a look at what's going on outside of Iowa. At least 4 people are dead following a shooting that took place outside of a Jewish school in France Monday morning. This is the third shooting to occur in the area in the last 10 days. Authorities believe there are 3 shootings that are linked. France has one of the largest Jewish populations in Europe, and in 2011, there were 389 reported acts of anti-Semitism.
And a 13-year-old Tennessee girl is recovering after being shot in the head by a stray bullet during an incident over the weekend. Keisha Ford is in a coma after she was inadvertently hit by the bullet while sitting in a parked car with a friend. Investigators say they had leads, but haven't made any arrests yet.
And the popular coffee chain may begin offering more than just Joe. Monday marked the launch of the Evolution Fresh, which offers smoothies and other juices, as well as wraps, salads, and soups. The new company hopes to cater to more of a health-conscious customer base and hopes to compete with Jamba Juice.
And now we'll see what's happening in Hawkeye sports with Daily Iowan TV's Kate Constable.
Well, guys, this arrest marks yet another unfortunate event for the Hawks this weekend as many seasons came to a close. The Iowa wrestling squad ended their season last weekend, but in a style that they weren't hoping for. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Nick Robertson takes a look at this year's wrestling campaign.
To say expectations are high for the Iowa wrestling team would be an understatement. But after their third-place finish at Nationals on Saturday, fans became very aware how high these expectations had been. The hope was to steal back the Big Ten title and national title from Penn State. However, a squad filled with youth and raw talent made that tall task a little too far out of reach. The only national champion Iowa had this year was junior Matt McDonough, his second. The other 7 that qualified for nationals fell short of that mark. Sophomore Derek St. John made it to the final match, but lost a close battle in the end. And the senior member of the squad, Montel Marion, went into 3 overtimes, but was not able to win his last match of his career. Tony Ramos, who earlier in the season looked poised to take the Big Ten and national title, lost in the semifinals and eventually took third. Freshman Mike Evans, who went all the way to the final match at the Big Tens, didn't even place after losing 2 straight matches. Lastly, freshman Bobby Telford, who wrestled his way to the heavyweight championship match at the Big Tens, didn't even get a sniff at nationals as he finished 5th. All in all, the 2012 season fell well short of expectations, but the youth of the squad should leave a sense of hope in the fans. Even as Montel Marion rides off into the sunset and Matt McDonough prepares for his last go-around, you can be sure Tom Brands and company will not be looking to rebuild, but reload. Nick Robertson, Daily Iowan TV, Sports.
The Penn State Nittany Lions were able to win their second straight national title, with Minnesota and Iowa finishing 2nd and 3rd respectively. Fran McCaffrey's second year at Iowa as head coach of the men's basketball team ended Sunday night in Eugene, Oregon. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Mike Howell takes a look at the season.
The Hawkeyes exploded out of the gates on Sunday against Oregon, but couldn't keep it up, losing 108-97. Head coach Fran McCaffrey said after the game, quote, "Defensively, we broke down late in the first half and in the second half. I'm proud of our guys, very proud. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. The character of this team is unbelievable." The loss ended Iowa's season at 18-17, but Fran McCaffrey has re-energized the Hawkeye basketball program. 4 wins over top 25 teams such as 13th-ranked Michigan and 15th-ranked Wisconsin twice. Fran also led Iowa to their first postseason win since 2003. Sure, the Hawkeyes will miss leading scorer Matt Gatens, who is now the 6th all-time leading scorer in Hawkeye history. And they will also miss Bryce Cartwright, senior who led the team in assists and stepped up huge this postseason. But next year, with the 21st best recruiting class in the nation per ESPN, including a 7-footer and a true point guard, new heights could be achieved. Comparing McCaffrey's last 3 stops as head coach, year 2 to year 3 has seen an average of over 3 or more wins, and he has never failed to win 20 games in that 3rd year. So a sad end for 4 senior Hawkeyes who have ended their college basketball careers. But head coach Fran McCaffrey looks to have the Iowa basketball program finally heading in the right direction. Mike Howell, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
At 18-17, the Hawkeyes have won the most games since 2006, when Iowa was 25-9 and made the NCAA tournament as a 3 seed. Well, that's it for Fran's squad and for me today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Before we leave you tonight, check this out. While we've all been enjoying some unusually warm weather here in Iowa, residents in Arizona have been getting dumped with the opposite. The intense wind and blowing snow caused parts of I-40 to be closed in the northern part of the state. As many as 15 inches of the snow were seen in Flagstaff, while higher elevation areas saw nearly 2 feet.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into the print version of Tuesday's Daily Iowan.
Read about how meth labs related to burn victims are filling up in UIHC's unit once again.
Plus, a look at Tuesday's Illinois primary.
Well, that's it for your Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.